What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. I mean, something about the underdog, but screw the underdog. I mean, you guys see him, hat on, muscles out as usual. I have the privilege of sitting down with the one and only true force on the football field that I've seen in the past few years. I mean, an undrafted sensation. Did someone say underdog? I mean, a man who's defied the odds and captured the hearts of fans around the NFL. I mean, the one and only, the man himself, Phillip Lindsay. What is up, sir? How you and the family doing today, man?
We're doing well, man. Thank you for having me today. We're doing great. I got a little one. I got a 3-year-old son, and I have a wife. So we've been having fun and enjoying the time with each other, and it's a blast.
Wow. And I mean, the household must be crazy, but man, congratulations on the children. You know, me and my girlfriend, we're planning on having our first kid. No, I'm playing. I don't even have a girlfriend. I don't know why I said that. Um, and I think the big thing and the big reason why I'm just astounded by your career is underdog, undrafted into playing with the big dogs in the National Football League. I mean, I have money and I put $1 million that you knew you were going to ball out. You knew you were going to do what Phillip Lindsay was going to do. What did you do to kind of silence the critics and play your game being an undrafted, player in the NFL?
I mean, honestly, I just do what I've done best, and that's be me.
Yeah, right.
I bring energy. I'm always motivated. I'm eager to get things rolling all the time. I'm competitive as hell. And for me, I just had that mindset, that mentality is like nobody's gonna be better than me. Nobody's gonna outwork me. And if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to outlast me. And I think that's kind of how I put my motto is the mentality and outlasting people. And then that's very hard to do. And so the thing is, if you're in a fight and somebody just keeps coming at you and at you and at you and at you, and he's never gonna quit, well, you better be able to match that intensity, or after a while, you're going to have to back down. And I just think that that's the type of tenacity and mentality that I took with me. And it was like, if someone's going to beat me out, they just got to be just full fledged better than me. Like that was just period. Because mentally, they're not going to be tougher than me. They're not going to be able to be consistent as me every play, every time, in anything I do, whether that's film work, whether that's lifting, whether that's waking up at 6 o'clock every day on the dot. Like to me, I try to separate myself by doing the little things right and by doing things that I know that other people would not do because they were either too lazy, too tired, already sore, and I knew that that was going to push me over the top.
Man, I'm about to run through a damn wall, Philip. That got me going, sir. I love it. And obviously, you played with great passion and intensity. If anyone who's ever watched any of your damn film has seen, I mean, you're going head first. You're going to take the hit, you're going to take a lick, and you're going to get up and do your thing. How do you maintain your motivation and drive on the field, and just keep that high intensity, high octane running style going, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that for me, um, in order to be a great running back, there's all kind of different things that you have to have. But to be honest with you, it's consistency of being able to run hard, being able to do the same thing over and over, the same speed, the same way throughout the whole entire game. It's easy to do something when everybody is tired, but it's like, can you do the same thing over and over? And after a while, somebody will get tired, or a defensive player will get out of place, and that's when you got to take advantage of it. And so for me, I just think that it's like my consistency of doing things uh, over and over and being able to take the hits and get up and do the same thing and not be scared to get hit that way, or even if something hurts, to keep going. I think that's just me. I just think, like, everybody has something to them, and I'm just like, I just feel like mentally and I'm just tough, man. To be honest with you, I'm mean. Like when I'm on the field, I really am mean. I talk a lot, and like you get me going, like I just black out and everything is just focused on what I have to do.
Yeah.
And that's either run the ball, that's block, that's catch. And I think, that's what I bring to a team is that fire, that leadership, and that explosion. Not a lot of running backs can hit 0 to 60 like that. And that's what makes running back special if you can do that on a dime. And I think that I bring that. And wherever it is next year, or this year, I'm going to just continue to show that, and hopefully I can bring some explosiveness to a team.
Damn right. And I was watching some highlights before and against the Chargers as we were talking off air. I mean, you light it up against the Chargers. So I'm sorry, LA. Sean Merriman, we just had you on. I'm sorry, but Phillip is in charge of your Chargers. I'll put it like that. And you went up to one of the players and you got in his grill, man, and you said some stuff I can't even say on this podcast, man. And I love that intensity, though. That's smash mouth football. That's old school football to me, man, and I love it. And it's like the underdog is just there. You have everything to prove. You're grinding. You're not giving up, man. Every time I see that shit, I smile because it's just fucking real hard nosed football. And something also that's been really entertaining watching you is switching teams in terms of you can really adapt to a new system. Obviously from the Texans, Colts, Broncos to obviously your stint in the XFL. How do you adapt to these new systems and continue balling out on such an extreme level?
Yeah. I mean, one thing is you definitely don't want to have to keep on switching teams. The sad part about the reality of the NFL nowadays is you're not going to be on the team for very long anymore. It's not like back in the day where a player stays for 17 years. Rarely are you going to get that. You're going to get maybe two or three that are going to be able to do that on each team. So that's an unfortunate part about it. But it's just honestly, it's just being able to, like you said, adapt, adjust, take criticism, learn, and just slow your mind down to be able to adjust to the scheme that you're in at that time. And then the other part is like it's just football. The thing is like you can't change for anybody. Like at the end of the day, you are who you are, and the thing is you got to do what got you there. And I think sometimes that's what happens is people get into the NFL and they start to listen to every little thing, every somebody doing something different. They start to focus on, well, who's doing this that was successful instead of kind of just staying true to what they do best and what they got them there and what they truly believe in. And I think that, no matter what team you're on, it's about being who you are. And if you're that good, you'll be able to stand out. And I think that's, you know, of course, I would have loved to stay on one team. It would have been great to be in Denver my whole career. I mean, I'm from here. I'm born and raised. I've had some great years there, and I would love to come back if they would have me back. I would love to come back. And something like that is like you don't get to do that often.
And I was going to ask, obviously as a public athlete, how do you handle that pressure and kind of scrutiny that comes with it? But I think be yourself and block out the noise. I mean, that's really all you can do. You can't control what other people are going to say. Now, obviously, you are a free agent right now, coming off a nice season in the XFL. Has any teams been calling you, or where do you see yourself going, given the opportunity?
Yeah. It's
Aaron, sorry.
it's it's funny because as you're younger and stuff, you don't see like how the game is, and as you get older, you start to see it. And of course, you want to be on a team now. But the whole thing about it is, at the end of the day, it's about being somewhere that wants you.
Yeah.
And if that takes some time, if that takes a little bit of time to happen, it's worth the wait. And at this point, it's OTAs. Nothing's really going on. You're going to make your money in camp. You're going to make your money in these preseason games, and it's a long year. And the thing is, it's about staying healthy, and that's honestly like everybody is good, but like 80% of it is being able to stay healthy enough to play a full season to be at your best every game. So for me, I think that like being able to work out on my own every single day, get that rest mentally, and I just feel like it's going to make me better off when a team does decide to come around and give me that opportunity.
And any team that's listening, and I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. Hey, Jared, we need a star running back, sir. I mean, listen, Tony's a good 1-2, but We need an all down back. We need that. We need that man to bring
I
some
like
energy.
Tony, man. Tony reminds me of myself. I'm always gonna root for the people that are smaller. I think Tony fits that offense great, and I would love to help Tony and compliment Tony and be his right hand man. So, um, but at the end of the day, whoever's gonna give me the opportunity, I'm gonna be grateful for it. My family is gonna be grateful for it, and we're gonna take it and run with it. So, hopefully, that comes sooner than later.
It will. I mean, there's 32 teams that need a star running back. I don't know why they're not calling your phone right now. I mean, if you get a call right now, Philip, it is okay to stop this podcast and just take that, man. I would love to. I would
Hey
love.
man, I definitely would have to stop and take it, but there's a lot of
Oh,
reasons, man. A lot
except
of
the
reasons.
Eagles, Philip. Then I'm gonna have to try and fight you on that, man. I don't want to see you in Philly. Now, obviously, I saw you grinding today at the gym and getting and staying into that, NFL caliber body, NFL caliber
Yeah.
fitness level. What else do you do to maintain your physical and mental well being during, a demanding NFL season and even an off season?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing what people don't understand. Like, you really don't have an off season because your off season is getting yourself ready for the season. It's grueling, truly. Like when you look at the dieting, the working out every day, and then balancing, family life with it, you don't got a lot of time like you think you do. And the thing about it is like there's not enough time in a day to get everything you want to get done. Uh, for your body and for yourself and also for your family. So you got to be able to maintain and balance both. And I think for me, that's what I think that's what's great around now is I'm still at home, so I get to have that family time, but also I get to have that extra time to work on my body to make sure that I am healthy for all 17 games. And I just for me, it's about finding a routine that works for you. And I think that like it's about like I always say consistency. You got to be consistent in what you do, consistent on your diet, consistent on your workouts. When you're sore and stuff, you still got to get up and you got to push yourself, but then also knowing like when you need to go and you need to do extra modalities to make yourself feel good, feel better, massage work, chiropractor work, needling, everything that's gonna to benefit you week 8, week 9. That's what you do. You do it now so that when it gets to week 9, week 10, you're feeling great. And as an older, when as you get older, you start to feel things a little bit different than you would when you're a rookie and you just go out there and you don't really know nothing and you just go out there and run through everything.
Hey, underdog talk. If you need a little kick in the butt, I mean, stop sitting on that couch and eating that popcorn. Go to the damn gym and do that extra rep.
Hey, you got to. I mean, I always live by this. I always live by, everybody. There's always something that's talking in your head that
Yep.
doesn't make you want to do something, right? It like when you wake up early in the morning, something's telling you to stay, right? When you're looking at the bed to be made, like first thing I do is try to make my bed because that's the way to start your day. Find something that's going to get your day started, right? And some things like I don't feel like doing this. And when you don't feel like doing something, that's when you do it because that's when you're gonna push through it and you may have that breakthrough. And I just think that that's something that I've started to do a lot more. It's like, man, I don't feel like going out here for this second workout.
Yep.
Then I get up and I do it because once I get out there, then I start feeling like, man, I would have never felt this good if I didn't go and do it. I would have never got this PR or I never got this work that I got now if I decided to stay home, and I've always been like that. I always been in my head where if I feel like I miss something, miss a workout, then I feel like I'm behind, and sometimes that's good and that's a bad thing. It's good because it keeps you grinding. Sometimes it's bad because it's like, it's okay you got to find a happy medium.
Agreed. And Alfred Morris said an interesting point. Hard work beats talent when talent does not put in that work. And I
Yeah,
think that's always the message that there's always going to be someone more talented than you, and that's just
definitely.
how life goes. But if you work harder than the person who's more talented than you, I mean that's the motto. That's the key to success.
Harder, working harder and smarter. Sometimes you got to work smarter. You got to understand your limits of things, and that's how it goes. And if you can mix all that together, you're going to put yourself in the best possible situation that you can be in going into a year, a whole 17 game year.
And I think also something that else is key for just success in life is to have a support system, a good support system. Obviously, you have a lovely family. What role has your family played in supporting you throughout your football career and, even the off season as well? I'm sure there's so much
Yeah.
that goes into that.
Yeah, I mean, I got from like the sports system from my brothers and sisters and my mother and my father.
Yeah.
And then I have my biggest supporters and my wife and my son. Like they always support me and always want me to do what's best for myself when it comes to the football. And they're always there when my wife's always asking me, what do we need to do to get you ready? She's always on me. She's always reminding me of things. Like she's always, because she wants me to be as successful as I can be. She was she was a soccer star as well. She knows how it is to grind, and she knows how it is to like put the work in, and knows how much time it does take. So she's been a rock star when it comes to balancing myself and our son. And I can't ask for a better wife than what that woman does for me. So I'm grateful for that for her, and I'm grateful for our son. And he loves football, and he's starting to understand it a little bit more. So it's really cool to, it was funny because when I was with the Colts, my first game was playing Denver, and that was my first time my son ever got to come to a game. And so like he was like, excited. And it was funny because he's only 3, but like till this day, he knows the orange team and the white team, right? He knows the Broncos and the Colts. So like, and he was there, he was, he had a great time. And the whole thing is I always wanted him to at least see me play one more time. So if I don't ever play again, at least he got to be at a game, got to see me, he got to be on the field. And that's something that, a lot of people can't say they can do.
And against the Broncos, I mean, a team where you made history and you
Yeah.
changed the Broncos culture, and obviously a team where you're from now.
Yeah.
And you had so many, highlights, obviously, with the Broncos. And, the Pro Bowl season obviously was phenomenal. What do you consider to be one of your biggest highlights of your career so far?
Yeah. One of my biggest highlights of my career, there's a lot that has went into it, and I just think it was being able to show all the doubters and all the 32 teams that sit there and wrote me off, that sit there and picked up a bunch of people that honestly didn't even make 2 years in the NFL in front of me. There was no sweeter feeling. There's never a sweeter feeling than you getting shit on all the time or something happening, right? And then you're just working, you're grinding, right? And everybody's telling you all this stuff, and like they're writing you off and they're clowning on you and stuff. And then all of a sudden that stuff comes up and you're ready and you just explode, right? Because now you put everything out of their hands, you put everything in your hands, right? And like they can't do anything about it but just sit there and hate on you. You know what I mean? I guess that's the best thing. The sweetest thing is when you got haters hating. When people are talking about you, good or bad, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of hating on you. That means you're doing something right if there's a lot of haters, and then you're gonna have your supporters. And Denver has supported me to the fullest. I love the Denver fans, and there's no other fan base that I've been around like them. They go to bat for me. They have went to bat for me for many years. And like it's just even to this day, I can walk around and I just feel the love, and it's just like you're not gonna get that at a lot of places. And that's what makes Denver so special. And I think that the highlight of the moment is being able to do that in my backyard. Do that, play high school ball, play college ball here, build relationships with the fans, build relationships with so many people, and then play the NFL, and then for people to see me for me and not just a football player. And I think that's why a lot of people really enjoy and respect me. It's because when you get to know me, it's more of a, like, I'm doing this for the city. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for all those young kids that are going to come after me. And I'm doing it for young kids that look up to me, and it's like, you can't get nothing better than that, man. You can't write a better script than what happened to me throughout my whole entire career.
Right. And as a Cowboys fan, oh, man, damn it, I want to see you back in that orange, and it sucks. I want you in that silver and that star on your helmet, man. the reunion would be sweet, and Melvin Gordon obviously departed, so there's room for a running back.
There's definitely some room to help explosive offense be even more explosive.
And
So I would love to be back in that orange. It's my home state. It's where I grew up with, and it's you never know. You never know. It could come true again. We'll see how everything goes.
and I'm tired of everyone hating on Russ. I mean, let that man cook. He'll come back. He's still a
He'll
superstar.
be okay. He'll be
He'll
good.
be he'll be good. I don't care.
Yeah.
One bad season, no, he'll bounce back. Dude's still a superstar. Now, obviously, from high school to college to NFL. I mean, you've always had that chip on your shoulder, and
Yeah.
and you've always met the expectations and went above it. But I feel like football is just a sport. It's a game. What did you learn about yourself, through this sport and life lessons you learned, Philip?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Football is just a game. It really is, right? But the beautiful and the beauty of this game we play, it molds you into life itself. For me, for example, a lot of things I do off the field, the way I think, the way I go at things, it's because of football, right? That mentality to keep going and make myself better for my family, for myself. Whether I get into real estate or something else, it's about attacking it like I would play on the football field, right? The structure, right? That stuff keeps you. Structure is key. You need to have structure in your life, right? And I think that's what happens when once you've played in the NFL and in college for a very long time, and then all of a sudden it's done, and you don't have that structure of, hey, I got to be here at 6, I got to have this. It's harder because now it's like nothing's pushing you to have a deadline, right? So like that structure when you're playing this sport, it helps you out because now you get into the real world, quote unquote, and everybody just kind of goes with the flow of things. They do stuff on their time, and for you, everything's a go go go. Like, I'm gonna get this done today. I'm gonna do this, and you're always gonna set yourself apart because of that mindset, that mentality of how you would do in football, right? And then just the toughness, right? The toughness of like when things are gonna go wrong in your life, that's just life, right? And the thing is, I always told my pops, I was like, pops, I never get too high, I never get too low. And sometimes that could be my downfall because when I have good stuff happen, I can embrace it a little bit more than what I do. But I know for me, it's like, pops, why every time something like good happens, something around the corner, right? It's ready for you to knock you down, right? And the thing about it is too many people, they don't embrace what's happening at that time.
Yeah.
And then when that does come, because it's gonna come, right? You've already been bugging or freaking dreading it for so long that when it finally comes, it seems like it's been here forever.
Yeah. Life is highs and lows, and that's the beautiful thing about life, I think, Philip. And yeah, I think your mindset is actually amazing. I think more people should have that mindset of, okay, I might be at the highest point in the mountain right now, but I still got to come down, and that's the name of the game. But to be fair, I don't want to sound depressing because when you're at your lows, that's when you find yourself.
You have to. That's
Yeah.
that's the only way to find yourself, right? Like it's easy when you're making millions of dollars and everybody's happy and all that, but like when you're down in the dumps and things is talking to you and you're and all you have is yourself and you got to get out, you got to climb out. Like that's when you find out, really about yourself, right? And then you add having a family, you add having a son, a wife, and the thing about it is, and I always say is like sometimes when something happens to your son, who's he go to? He goes to daddy, right? Something happens to your wife, okay, who she go to? She goes to her husband, right? And like for me, it's like when something happens to me, I go to my wife, but then it's like you are dad. You're the one that everybody looks at as Superman and all that. So and it's sometimes you can get kind of off kilter, and it's okay. You need to be able to get knocked down. But the thing about it is, you just regroup, and it may take a day, may take a month, but you'll come back up.
And I think that was a great point, Philip, because obviously June is Men's Mental Health Month, and the notion of men being the ones who won't break is such a silly thought these days, and what men make up 3/4 of the suicides these days because they
It's
feel like
crazy.
they have to be the 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 mold of it all, but it is okay not to be okay. I think that is such a clear message. It is okay to be weak at times, to let a little cry out shit. We all have, and I truly love what you said that it's okay to go to people and be open. You go to your
You
dad
got
and
to be able to talk and lean on people. You got to be able to lean on people because,
yeah,
like I said, it takes a village in anything you do, right? Like for myself and my wife, in order for the household to be ran right, we need each other, right? So the thing is, I got to be able to be vulnerable and open to her, just like she has to be vulnerable, open to me for things to get done, to be in a positive atmosphere. And like you said, just too many men that are taking this approach of like doing stuff by themselves. And it's scary, and I always say that, man. It's easy in the day, in the morning, right? When you first wake up to go out, say, I'm gonna do this, I have a great day, I'm gonna do all this, right? And then as the day goes and stuff doesn't go kind of how you want it to, and then all of a sudden your son or whatever, is crying and things come up, and then everybody goes to bed and you're just up. And then I always say, like, demons and stuff come when you're vulnerable, right? When you're down, when you're sitting there and nobody's there and it's quiet. That's when you start to think about all kind of crazy, crazy things like sad, and that's when you got to kind of get with yourself and tell yourself it's okay because nobody else is going to do it for you, and go talk to somebody. Always go talk to somebody.
yes, sir. I love it, and I think it creates a healthy, household. And there's so much less problems when obviously, the couples are synced together and they're
Yeah,
there for each other when one's down and the other one's there for when the other one's down. Now, I've been having this question on my mind, and just because Alfred Morris was on the podcast so
yeah.
yesterday, we are talking about his little damn baseball swing. Now, I have to ask you, do you have any specific, pregame rituals or routines you follow to prepare yourself for a game, Philip?
Yeah. I like to be very like everything I do throughout the week has to be pretty much the same, right? I got to get 2 massages a week. I got to get dry needling at least twice. Some Epsom salt baths, and then I always when I wake up every day I wake up and I thank God and I pray. But every day before the game, I always pray and thank for the opportunity just to be living, and I always pray that those less fortunate than I am to just help guide them in the directions that they need to be, guided. And I always say, take care of guide my son in the directions, and you guide my wife. You give them the love, strength, courage, happiness to get through this day, and then I just appreciate the little things like the blue sky, if it's nice out, the fans coming to support you, sometimes, and I've been like that where you get so into the game, so into this, so like that you forget it's just a game, and then you don't have your best games because you're so like this. But when I started to like relax and have a little fun and just kind of appreciate the surrounding, like everything that's going on around, you end up having a great game because you don't care. You're just out there balling, right? You're out there just doing what you've done your whole entire life. It's muscle memory. And I think for me, and then I've always been a spiritual guy, so I always have a crystal in my sock, in the bottom of my sock, my shoe that I've always like I'm into the energies and things like that. So like I've always had that I felt like has kept me pretty healthy. Um, and I've done that since high school, man. And I can't do nothing with I know when I don't have it, I can just feel it. So like when I do have it, I just feel comfortable.
And that's the same crystal from high
Same
school.
crystal. Yeah. Same crystal. I got multiple crystals and things like that. And so like, but like that's pretty much my same crystal. And yeah, I just something that just keeps me grounded.
And that's always so key to have that thing that it's working for you and it's doing its thing. Now, a final question. I think this is the $2 million question, whatever we're at now, Philip. You've seen it from high school to college to being an undrafted, free agent to being a Pro Bowler to putting the city of Denver on your shoulders and balling out. But what is your biggest tip for someone who's looking to make it from college ball to pro ball like you once were, sir?
Yeah. There's a lot, that goes into it that you got to be able to control the controllables, right?
Yes.
Like you got to be able to do what you can do, and then the rest of it just has to take care of itself, right? And so the thing is, what can you do? Okay, one thing is there's only 1% that make it to the league, so go get your degree, right? You can do that, especially if you have a full ride, right? Other thing is like you got to understand like what's your priorities, right? Like, do I go out and party and drink, or do I stay in, study? Do I go get some extra workouts in? Do I go get some film time in? Do I work on my craft? Like, we only get this game for so long. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, high school's it. For the other half, or it's just college. And for that 1%, you may go to the NFL for 1 year, 2 years. Not everybody's gonna make it 7 to 10 years. So the thing is, like, you only got so much time for this game. So, like, why don't you just take that time and be selfish in the fact that be selfish to what you want out of it, right? Be selfish to going into this and saying, I'm going to give everything I got so that when I'm done playing, or if I can't play no more, I can sit here and I can truly say I gave everything I got and there was just nothing else I could do. And that's how you control the controllables. Okay. It's a political, like, it's sad to say, in the NFL today, it's a political game, right? And people don't want to hear it and all that, but it really is. And the thing is, control what you can. Go out there and do everything right. And then the rest of it, they don't like you, they just don't like you. That ain't on you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go on, right? Because not everybody gonna like you. I would just say, just be consistent, man, and whatever you do, and just focus on college. Be the best college football player you can be. Because then if you're the best college football player, then you're gonna go to the NFL. And I just think that when we was in Boulder and we were taking some butt whoopings for sure. And in that year, 2016, we got older, right? We got junior, senior year. We stopped taking people's shit and we started waxing people up. And that's just because we got older. We all had one goal. We wanted to go to the NFL. We all pushed each other, right? We pushed each other and we held each other accountable. And we just grinded. And I didn't think of the NFL because, to be honest with you, everybody sits there and said, well, you're 100. I was only 184 pounds. So 184 pounds, I'm 5'8". Yeah. And the thing is, I was in the Power 5. I was like top 10 NFL rusher 2 years in a row. Did they care? They didn't care. Because to them, it's Hollywood. It's like what they like, what they see. We want somebody that's 6 foot, 215 pounds, runs a 4.4. They want that. That's what they want. They don't want to see a 5'8", 184 person just dominating. You know what I mean? That's not how the script's supposed to be. Kind of like that's how you get sometimes. Yeah. And the thing about it is like that's why you make them mad. You go out there and you prove them wrong, because now they ain't got to do nothing but eat their words.
Damn right, and prove them fucking wrong. Excuse my French, as Ryan Lappy says. You did. And the one thing that stands out to me, and I think I love it, is control what you can control. And as Phillip said, if you can go to sleep at night knowing, and this is for anything, knowing that you've given all of every ounce of your body, every ounce of your energy to whatever the hell you're doing, that's all you can do in life, man. And you can sit back and you can know that I've done what I can do today. I can't do anything else now. Phillip, it's been such an honor and privilege to talk with you, man. I mean, class act, humble, but not on the field, because you just ball out. So I don't even know what the definition of that is. I think it's just a badass. But before we go, the floor is yours, sir. Is there anything you're working on right now? Any books, movies? You're getting me excited now on that. What's the social media? Anything you're working on? The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, it's just like learning that, like, life after football and like what I really want to do after football, because whether I play 5, 6 more years, at some point, you gotta do something else. You can't, I don't care how much money you gotta do something else, right? You gotta get involved in stuff. And I think for me, it's like being able to use what I've learned and help the youth, help these kids grow, help these kids get an opportunity. Because I was that kid that didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of things, and I had a dream and I had a goal. And I think that, like, if I would have had some guidance here and there to help me out, it could have helped out. It could have, never know what it could have done, different situations. And I think that, what's the point of going through life and doing all this if you don't give back?
Yeah.
So, I think for me, it's just like kind of plotting stuff. I definitely want to, I maybe want to coach high school is something that I wouldn't mind doing when I'm done. And definitely just training kids, working on their craft. And and that's something that I have working right now is just like just finding ways to make an impact, and I can't change the whole entire world, but to me, if I can help one kid and later on in his life it helps him out, I done my job, and I think that's it, So my goal is to get a couple more years out of here, get a end on the right foot, and give everything, the rest of what I got to the game, and then after that, just give everything I got with the knowledge I have in my head.
Oh yeah, and Philip, I don't know if you know this, but I have a crystal, as an imaginary crystal as well, and I put my hand on it. And I saw, you know what I saw? Underdog Talk. I saw a few more Pro Bowls coming for this man.
Hey man, that would be lovely. I would love a few Pro Bowls, but to be honest with you, man, and like it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, it's about like the friendships you make. It's about the brotherhood. It's about being able to share this with somebody. Because the problem is a lot of people, right? And you probably know this, and a lot of people know. It's like don't look at somebody and think they're so happy because they got a bunch of money, or they got they're famous, or it's like there people are going through a lot of issues. And the thing is, I rather don't have anything else and have the family I have right now than sit there and be but alone, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed and I'm grateful for what I have in my life.
And I agree on what you said entirely. And first person to follow Philip on his Instagram, send me a screenshot. I'll get you a special gift over to you. And again, I mean, Philip, such a class act, man. I loved watching your highlights, and
Appreciate that, man.
Philip's highlights will be in the bio. Just watch it. Watch. Go to minute number 230 where he plays the Chargers and just watch that span of the highlights. And I want you to see one play, Underdog Talk, where he headbutts, not headbutts, shouldn't say that. You start talking with the CB, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's an iconic moment for me. I was talking stuff to Patrick Peterson.
Yes.
It was a Thursday night. It was a Thursday night game, and they didn't know too much about me at that time. And that was actually so Royce Freeman, who's my best friend.
Oh, really? He's awesome.
Yeah. Royce Freeman, my best friend. And to this day, we're working on our golf game. So like we're talking all the time, right? And so Royce goes down, and it's just me pretty much. It's me and Devontae Booker, and I end up going off Thursday night, and I put a stiff arm out on Patrick Peterson. At the time, I didn't care who it was. I was like, you get going and stuff. You don't really know who's out there. And then, he pushed me on the ground and stuff. And, I had a couple words for him because it was like, all right, when I come back, I'm coming back for you. So great corner, has a lot of respect for him. One of the best to do it. So it was great to be out there with him.
And that's true football. Real recognize real, and you play through. It doesn't matter who you're running up against. You ball out, and Phillip Lindsay, you did ball out, and you will ball out. But thank you so much for taking your time to come on the podcast and kick it with me, guys. Don't forget to follow Philip, and first two people, send me a screenshot. We'll get you some special gifts out to you as well. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for you, Philip, and whether it be football or not. I know whatever you're going to do, you're going to bring full passion to it. And I'm just excited to see the next step for you, sir, whether that be football or whatever after football. But guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Until next time, the Underdog and just the absolute beast out.